The poll also found that 57% of the people surveyed were willing to vote for someone who had little to no political experience. There is a battle brewing over a decision by lawmakers to cut state Medicaid coverage for some organ transplants. The university also disperses more Title IV student financial aid than any other university in the country. A new project being tested by APS could drastically reduce blackout times, and as reporter Steve Doty found out, businesses couldn't be happier. As the November election approaches, one group is making sure their voices are heard. 80 days after one of these bladders burst, you can see that Tempe Town Lake has begun refilling. From budget cuts to immigration, there's no shortage in debate topics this election season. And the time it takes you to fill up, your credit card information could be stolen. Of those Mexican citizens returned home this year, 85% were men and almost 1,000 were children. Well, I'm traveling this weekend, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I don't have any surprising fees. Latinos are less motivated to go to the polls, even though this election will help decide the balance of power in Congress for the next 2 years. Nogales, Mexico and Nogales, Arizona. They share a name, but now they also share a plumbing problem.
It's a big plumbing issue.
Yesterday, a Border Patrol agent noticed a sinkhole on the Arizona side of the border. These can be signs of illegal tunneling, so officials in Nogales opened it up. But they didn't see a tunnel.
Saw a whole bunch of sewer water in there.
So much water, officials couldn't see the pipe. They redirected the water, but when they could see the actual pipe, they couldn't see the problem.
Obviously, there's something going on down there, but it's just not where we thought it was.
But the biggest problem for the U.S. side doesn't have to do with the pipes. It has to do with these empty streets.
You hardly see any people here at all.
The Morley Street port of entry was closed down because sewage was running out of a manhole and onto the streets nearby. Its closure has left Chavez's shop empty.
There's been absolutely no business. I had some business this morning because somebody needed some merchandise real bad and they came to the store.
That's the only business his office supply store has had all day. He needs the pipes fixed and hopes it won't take the city much longer.
What can you do? Nothing but wait it out.
That's what the towns are doing, waiting. While officials determine the cause of the break, and they'll continue to wait until it's fixed. In Nogales, Natalie Podgorski, Cronkite News. We don't know where they came from. We don't know how old they are. We don't even know their name.
But John's been marked out.
All we do know is that they died in the desert while crossing the border looking for a new life.
We usually just ask the basic information.
Kat Rodriguez is trying to answer everything else.
Usually say, you know, when your brother's smiling and he's looking at you, do you see gaps?
If a loved one disappears, Rodriguez becomes the lifeline to answers.
There's people that have called me and said, I'm really sorry I keep bothering you, but it's my daddy and I can't sleep and I can't eat and I have to know what's happening.
It seems overwhelming. The medical examiner's office has seen 175 migrants die this year just in Pima County.
There was quite a jump and we just weren't expecting that.
The desert is an unforgiving place that takes lives and leaves questions.
Cases, we don't have anything. We have a few bones.
But they aren't just bones to Rodriguez. Their lives lost.
People deserve to be identified and to be sent home.
Rodriguez keeps asking questions, and Dr. Parks keeps looking for clues. All the while, the bodies keep piling up. In Tucson, Natalie Podgorski, Cronkite News.
Stick it out, man. Stick it out.
I'm here every morning, 7 in the morning.
Keep going. All the other great boxers started somewhere. 30 seconds.
Tired hands, sore arms, and sweat. Another day of training at West Valley Boxing Club.
We come 20 miles every morning.
To this, a garage turned gym, filled with old punching bags, donated equipment, and dreams. Even with temperatures well above 100, they just keep coming.
Really bursting at the seams. I mean, this garage is only so big.
He's a hero to these kids. He's actually a hero to me.
But he wasn't always this guy. The one who donates his time to keep these kids off the street. He used to be the one that needed saving.
Got into lots of trouble and was in and out of jail until I finally went to prison.
It was a time filled with anger, drugs, and gangs. He was heading nowhere, but a pastor in prison gave his life new direction.
I give God all the glory. I don't think there's any other way that I would have straightened out.
He teaches boxing because it's what he knows, what he loves, and because he believes it will keep them from his old ways.
It keeps us motivated to stay out of any kind of trouble.
That's the point. David used to get in trouble at school, but not since he met Robert.
Would I like to raise some champions out of this club? Yes. The bigger goal is to try to make sure that these guys here don't taste, you know, the type of things that I did. I mean, that really is what mean more to me. Excuse me.
He's gotten them off the streets, and now his boxers are ready to step into the ring.
And now it's like, let's compete already. Let's do it already.
But while the odds of one of his fighters becoming a champion are slim, the odds will not stop them from trying. It's never been about making champions. It's always been about making better men.